Have you ever just ran out of time? That's what this show's all about today. So let's just hang on.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to the New Path, New You podcast. My name is Ron Cool. And if you can see me, you'll know this is our very first video podcast that we're doing for this show. And I just wanted to take a minute and let you know kind of what's been going on in my world. And it's been kind of a crazy summer, but that's probably why you notice we took a little bit of a pause in August and July. Let's just catch you up. We had VBS, which my wife and we served at, which was a lot of fun. A bunch of kids just had such a great time. And we had 87 kids give their life to Christ. So that is phenomenal and amazing. But it was a week. It was tiring. Then we found 5 kittens in our culvert that the mom just said, deuces, you can have them. So we've been bottle feeding them every 3 hours. What? That is crazy. All through the night, seems like we have newborns all over again. But you know what? That's what we're doing on those 2 fronts. Then our 3 kids started school, and my youngest Rogan, he wanted to play tackle football. And I was like, sure, let's do it. Didn't realize it was going to be 5 days a week practices in the evening for 2 hours. What? But he's having a fun time. Our oldest daughter, Phoenix, asked to do volleyball. And we're like, sure. Didn't realize that would be 6 days a week and at the same time as Rogan's football. So that was a little bit of juggling. Then our middle daughter, Phelan, asked if she could play soccer. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I've always had a hard stance on no on soccer because that is a whole lifestyle that I was not willing to get involved in. However, we said yes. That was 2 days a week. And guess what? Yep, you're right. At the same time as the other 2. So now we're scheduling, we're dividing and conquering, and that's just part of it. Rach is leaning in at church in her kids ministry role a little bit more. My men's group is doing phenomenal every Monday, and that is growing. We're actually in 2, soon to be 3 different states, which is awesome. So if you're interested in starting a men's ministry, reach out to me, and I would love to lean in and help you and pour in and invite you on to our lead team. But you know what? That's not even all that's happening. It's been unbelievable. Our kids had swimming lessons. We went on vacation. Like, come on. You guys feel me. Sometimes the schedule gets crazy. But you have to fight to put what's important at the top. So my wife and we kept God at the top. We still had our quiet time. We still connected with each other. We still shared back what we were learning. But more importantly, and this is how you hang on. So men, before you get, hey, my life's busy too, Ron, I get it. But if you're not connecting with your wife, there's a problem. If you're not surrounding yourself with the right men in your world to help you sharpen your iron, that is a problem. We have kept our connection or our checkpoint, our marriage checkpoint, every single week. And it's been vital. So we can talk about who's going where, who's taking who where, who's picking up, who's feeding the kittens, who's doing whatever that needs to happen. But guys, you have to have a good open communication with your wife so that there's connection, there's teamwork. Neither one of you will feel like you're doing it by yourself. You guys are serving each other. So how we do that is we'll sit down every single week. We'll open the calendar and we just schedule out things. It is important, guys. It seems like kind of a business meeting for some of us business-minded folks. But you know what? That's exactly what it is. If you were a leader of a business and you wanted to meet with your lead team to make sure your company ran well and you were doing everything you needed to do that week to hit all the KPIs that you wanted to do, would you not have a weekly meeting or even a daily touch base? You would. But men, we don't do this in our marriages. And I'm telling you, sometimes it does not feel natural. And sometimes it's going to feel weird. But I promise you, if you lean in and really understand how to do this, and I'm going to link all the show notes or in the show notes, everything that should help you, but it's a connection guide from my wife and I's show, the Abundantly Expectant Marriage podcast, that we talked about this. And I'm also going to link that show because it's a great conversation between her and I that maybe if you're going to be starting this process with your wife, have her listen to it. Have her listen to that show so she understands what you're trying to do and she can hear it from my wife's point of view because it is that important. It was one thing that will help you guys stay close in your marriage, keep what's important important, and help you understand how to become a better husband to your wife or a better wife to your husband. And the other piece that I just want to bring up, and I've talked about it multiple times, but in my men's group this last Monday, we were talking about marriage struggles, and I reminded one of the guys about the 5 Love Languages book and reading it together. And then taking your wife out, apologizing, and say you'll do better. Say you'll do better. And understand what she's looking for the most is consistency. She's not looking for the perfect husband. She's looking for someone that she can count on consistently all the time and know that you're there. It's not just financially, guys. It is not something you're just trying to do to make it through. Understand, she wants you more. She wants you to be your best friend. She wants you guys to connect. She wants you to be lovers. She wants everything that you want from her. That's right. She wants the exact same thing. Among all the busyness, guys, it doesn't matter how busy you get. You have to lean in and change how you approach all of it. So think of this like this is a check-in with you and I. And I'm just having a little coaching conversation that you have to do better. You have to do better. You have to be a better father. You have to be a better husband. Like we are working on how am I going to show up at each one of my kids' games because they're at the same time. So we're going to take turns. And what I've committed to do is I'll film them and then we have film review with each one of them. And my son, he had his first real scrimmage and I just filmed the whole shot and we talked about angles in tackling. We talked about where he went versus where he should have gone. And then I'm going to do that with my daughters as well. So it's one-on-one time. I'm involved in what they're trying to do. They know that I care because I'm helping them coach. I'm not going to miss stuff because I'm not too busy. You have to keep things in priority. So my priority was God. That was check. That stayed at number 1. Number 2 was my wife, my spouse. And guess what? She stayed right there, right under God. Number 3 was my kids. I leaned in and I was everywhere for my kids. And then number 4 was everything else. So if something has to fall off, men, you have to choose what the most important thing is to keep and what can you let slide. I chose this show needed to pause for a couple weeks so that I can focus where I needed to focus the most. And I hope you understand that, men. But guys, that's how you lead. You have to understand the most important thing stays the most important thing. And if something else is on fire, you have to drop the things that aren't as important off so you can work on the things that are important. And that's what being on the path is all about. And that is my Monday night men's group. It's the path. We're helping men do this all over the country, and we would love to invite you along for the ride. So head into the show notes, see if it's something that you'd be interested in. We'd love to have you in the community, and just lean in to become and commit to being better husbands and fathers and actually see significant change through what God has designed for your life. The enemy has tricked you to think everything is about being busy. Everything is about hustle. Everything is about let's get more. Guys, here's a spoiler alert. It's never enough. Ever, period, end of story. Think about your iPhone. When you got that brand new, you were excited. And if you were like me, I bought it in August because it was my birthday, not realizing in October there was a brand new one. It was already old. And I already wanted the new one, even though mine was brand new. And you've done this with cars. The second you buy a car, they change the body style. So yours is instantly old, and you are like, well, I have got to get a new one. At least that's how I thought. But that's how the world tricks you into wanting more. But frankly, the only thing you should want more is your relationship with God. Period. End of story. So if you aren't keeping that number one, that's where the problem is, man. That is not where I have to go get a coach and spend millions of dollars having them coach me to become better. I don't have to go to the gym and work out more. It is your time with the Lord that you need to fix. And then if your marriage is on fire, don't go to the bar to try to figure it out. Don't go to some other person to figure it out. Go to your wife, man up, and fix it. But it's going to take work for you to do it. I don't care how busy you are. I'm busy too. Keep things that are important, and keep the priority. It doesn't matter when it is. But guess what, guys? Just hang on. Hang on, because you know what? It's going to be over soon. And what I mean by that, your kids are going to grow. They're going to move out. And it's going to be you and your spouse. And if you haven't had a good relationship through the marriage, and now you're just you and her, what's going to happen? Yeah, I don't have to say it. You're not going to know each other. So make sure you're prioritizing your spouse as well. The best thing you can give your kids is a healthy marriage view. If you have daughters, they're looking to you for the man that they're going to marry. And guess what? If you treat your wife bad or wrong, and they hook up with some guy that are going to treat them like garbage, and you didn't treat your wife as special and amazing, they're going to think that's normal. So change what she's watching. And then if you have a son, you're teaching him by how you respond to your wife and how you are around the house on how he is going to be when he is your age. So, man, I hope you enjoyed the show today. I know it was super quick, but life's busy. But I wanted to lean in and just say hi. We're going to do these video podcasts every single week now. So you can watch them on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, wherever you consume this. Hope you enjoy them. I won't look as bad next time, but I just wanted to connect and say hi. And guys, we would, again, love to have you on the path. Head over to newpathnewYou.com and check it out, because that's where you can get involved with like-minded men all over the country. We have a group chat that we connect and we talk throughout the week. We give people inspiration. We'd love to have you involved. So head over there, figure out how you can get involved, and see what God has in store for you. Because I know it's a new path for a new year. See you next week.